All right, so have you ever felt like that whole boarding process at the airport? It's like a total free-for-all, not even an organized line.
Ah, yeah.
They were going deep on that, like how American Airlines is trying this whole new thing to stop those gate lice.
Oh, yeah.
You guys send us these articles from Vice, Euro Weekly News, and the Travel. So
Uh,
let's break down what this new tech is all about and what it could mean like for the future of flying.
it's definitely a hot topic, one that kind of touches on travel and tech and even like how people act.
Totally. I mean, just the term gate lice is a lot.
Yeah.
Some people are like, whoa, too harsh, and others think it's like hilarious.
Yeah.
What do you think, listener? Too harsh? Or like spot on? But, okay, let's move past the name calling and get to what's really going on. The Euro Weekly News article really gets into the psychology of it all.
Yeah, they say anxiety is a huge part of it.
Right.
You're at the gate, stressed about your flight. Everyone's getting antsy.
Totally.
That fear of missing out kicks in.
Like that herd mentality takes over and logic just goes right out the window.
Exactly.
Everyone's pushing to get ahead, even if they're like stepping on toes to do it.
And that's where American Airlines' new system is trying to step in, trying to take that unpredictable human element
Right.
out of the equation, using tech to actually enforce the boarding order.
Yeah, no more gate agents trying to keep things in check. It's all about this beep now.
Oh, wow.
This new tech flags early boarders with a special beep when they try to scan their boarding pass. And it like shows everyone their real boarding group number.
Interesting. So it's using public display to get people to follow the rules.
Right.
Almost like a digital scarlet letter for the queue jumpers.
Exactly.
And there's actually research that says public shaming can work.
Hmm.
But it also makes you wonder, like, how far we're willing to go to make people behave.
For sure. Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But like, does it actually work? Well, the Vice article had this story about a passenger at the Albuquerque airport
Oh.
who saw the system in action firsthand. Apparently, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Several people got called out trying to board early.
Oh, wow.
So that story is like the perfect example of how this system works.
Yeah.
But the goal isn't just to catch the rule breakers.
Right.
It's to make boarding smoother and fairer for everyone, especially people who get priority boarding.
Absolutely.
Speaking of fairness, why is priority boarding even a thing? It's not just about getting on the plane first. It's about making travel less stressful for those who need a little extra help or time.
Exactly. Think about people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Families with small kids or older passengers.
Hmm?
Boarding first lets them settle in without that rush.
Uh-huh.
And as the travel article pointed out, it's about making sure the system works like it's supposed to.
Right.
Everyone boards in the order they're supposed to.
So how does this thing even work? It's not magic,
Right.
although it might feel that way.
Right.
It uses info from your boarding pass and the flight list to know which group you're in.
Okay.
If you try to scan too early, you're flagged as an early boarder, and then, yep, you guessed it, that beep goes off.
That's wild. It's all about using tech to make things more objective and efficient. But, and this is a big but, we have to remember this is still just a pilot program.
Yeah, all three articles made that point clear.
Yeah.
It's too early to say what the long-term impact will be, but American Airlines is definitely doing something bold.
For sure.
They're trying to fix a problem that has annoyed travelers forever and maybe changing the whole boarding experience.
And what's really interesting is this tech could go way beyond the airport.
Oh, really?
If it works, it could be used anywhere. Lines in order are super important.
Okay, now that's a thought. Imagine this at concerts, sporting events, theme parks.
Yeah.
The possibilities are crazy.
Right, all right.
But let's get back to the airport. We know you, listener, you're all about the practical stuff.
For sure. Let's dig deeper into what this new system could mean.
Okay.
Like for airline efficiency, customer satisfaction, the whole travel industry.
Let's get into it.
That's what we'll be exploring next. So when we're talking efficiency, it's not just saving time, it's making the best use of everything. And smoother boarding, it actually affects the whole airline operation.
Oh, yeah. Less time boarding equals more time in the air, which is what really matters to airlines in the end.
Right. And the travel article even mentions some airlines have seen faster turnaround times
Really?
after making boarding more organized. And that can save the airline money, which, let's be honest, is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about us, though, the passengers? Would a less crazy boarding process make people happier?
I mean, absolutely. One of the biggest complaints people have is about boarding.
Yeah, it's so stressful.
It's crowded. It feels unfair.
Ugh. Yeah.
This new system, if it works well, could fix those issues, and people would actually enjoy traveling more.
I mean, the Vice article even quoted someone saying, I felt like I was actually boarding in the order I was supposed to for once. It was a surprisingly pleasant change of pace.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of comments airlines love to hear. Happy passengers usually come back for more.
It's a win-win for everyone. But of course, any new tech, there are some downsides to think about.
Yeah, one worry is it could make boarding feel less personal, less human. We're all used to talking to the gate agents, even if it's just a quick hello or good morning.
Right?
Will a beeping machine be able to replace that?
That's a good point. And what about all those tech problems that always happen? We've all been there stuck in line while someone tries to figure out a broken kiosk.
Exactly. Imagine that, but with this beeping boarding pass thing,
Oh, no.
total chaos waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And then there's data privacy, too.
Right. This whole system uses your info to work.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
how are they using and protecting that data? Are there rules to prevent misuse or someone getting access they shouldn't? These are all things airlines need to be open about if they want people to trust the system.
So it sounds like this new tech, it's promising, but it comes with its own issues.
Right.
It's not just about swapping gate agents for machines. It's about finding that balance between being efficient and keeping things human.
And it's about the ethics of using tech to change how people act. Because really, it's still up to us, the passengers, to be respectful and follow the rules.
You know, this whole conversation about tech changing behavior, it got me thinking, the whole conversation about tech changing behavior, it got me thinking, are we like becoming too reliant on tech to fix all our problems?
Hmm.
Is a beeping boarding pass really the answer to people just needing to be more polite?
That's a really good question, and it's bigger than just air travel.
Right.
We see it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Self-checkout lines, traffic cameras, even social media trying to keep us scrolling. Tech is always trying to push us to act a certain way.
And it feels like sometimes we're forgetting how to think for ourselves,
Right.
to make choices based on what we think is right and being considerate of others.
It's like we're handing over responsibility to algorithms and sensors.
Yeah.
And that could be dangerous because tech can be a good thing.
Yeah.
But we have to remember it's just a tool. We need to use it in a good way and ethically.
That takes us back to the whole gate lice thing.
Right.
It's not just about boarding. It's about human nature. Remember the Euro Weekly News article?
Yeah.
How they talked about anxiety and herd mentality? That's what's really driving this.
Exactly. Those are like deep down psychological things that tech can't really solve.
Right.
Even with the perfect boarding system, some people are always going to try to cheat to get ahead.
So what do? Are we stuck with beeping boarding passes and lines forever?
Not necessarily. But it means we need a bigger solution. One that uses tech, but also focuses on people being responsible and aware.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So maybe it starts with just encouraging empathy. Like, what if instead of rushing to board first, we thought about the other people around us?
Yeah, that's a great point.
The person with a lot of bags, or the family with little kids trying to stick together, or someone who needs a little extra time to get on the plane.
Those little things can make a huge difference. And maybe tech can even help us be more empathetic.
Now you're talking. What if there was an app that, gave you points for being nice or helpful while traveling?
I love that.
Or even VR, where you could see what it's like to have trouble moving or be scared of flying.
Oh, wow.
So you really understand what other people go through.
Those are amazing ideas. It shows how tech can be used not just to control people, but to actually make them better.
So it seems like getting rid of gate lice is about more than just a beeping boarding pass.
It really is. It's about looking at ourselves, how we act, and using tech in a way that helps everyone.
All right, so to wrap things up, what do you think, listener? What's the role of tech and human behavior in the future of travel?
Such a good question.
Let us know your thoughts on social media, and let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah.